digital security, it's a very critical space. The government has realized the enormous opportunity existing within digital space, especially around mobilizing young people around different issues. The 2024 Gen Z uprising was actually fundamentally voted by us utilizing and harnessing the power of social media. So I think at a time when the government is actually heavily invested in terms of how can we curtail the rise and the use of social media platform in multiple times controversial bills being presented in the National Assembly.
If I may speak about our digital security, since the start of the Gen Z uprising and the Gen Z demos, we have not been safe because we have been under surveillance from the government. Most of the time we have been having government officials visiting our offices, and when they visit our office they don't communicate, they just come, they park their cars, they go, they don't even communicate or talk to anybody. And again, we have been having some of our members who have been receiving messages from different numbers which they don't know, and receiving some calls. And especially after the Gen Z demos, we had the Kware massacre where bodies were dumped at the Kware dump site. And since we were the first organization to bring that thing to limelight, so the government started intimidating our center members, telling us that we should stop whatever we are doing and we should not be seen at the site.
Tukiangazia June 2024 na hata aftermath ya hiyo, of course hata before kumekuwa na a lot of surveillance when it comes to mambo ya activism specifically, because most of the times when the citizens are trying to seek for their rights, napata mara nyingi the government tends to say that citizens wanataka kutopple the government, and so most of the times wanataka kuangalia the ring leaders, and most of the time unapata kuna watu wengi wanakuwa affected. So for example, during the 2024 protests, I was one among the victims and survivors of police brutality because I was shot, and ilikuwa led because of the like surveillance and ilikuwa happen.
So my experience is actually maybe 3 incidents. In July 2024, I almost survived an abduction, and the only reason why the police knew I was City Mortuary. I was at City Mortuary, but they were using my phone to track me. I survived another abduction outside Harambe Avenue, and the police were just using my phone to track me down. And then I was arrested twice in 2024 and 2025, and the only way the police knew where I was because my phone was on. So the police are using phones to track people. So my cellular provider, which is Safaricom, they provide my exact location, and the police are able to find me using my mobile subscriber. Yeah, it's a very big risk as a human rights defender, knowing that your phone is reporting on you. And then when I was arrested last year in July, not only did the police take my phones, they were able to hack into my phones without me providing a password, and they were able to harvest everything that was on that phone. They used an Israeli spyware to break into my phone without my password. So as a human being, actually, I felt very intruded because my phone is like my private pants. It's private. So my communication, my pictures, everything that was there, they did a clone of my phone and took everything that was on my phone.
I was actually a victim, quote unquote, in 2024. I remember I was at Holy Family Basilica where we did the whole speech and everything, and immediately I left the door of the church. I was met with a lady who tried to get my details, and that whole week was very chaotic for me because I was followed constantly. It is just that luckily for me, my parents were very supportive, and I was able to go off the grid for a bit and change my path.
I had so many fears, and those fears were founded when I got arrested and I was locked up in Parliament Police Station. I was held there for about 4 hours. They had not booked me in the occurrence book without any, not even any charges or pressed against me.
I think it's the role of the social media, those social media owners, the people from Meta, Facebook, and all those people, even the one maybe human AI. It's their role to ensure that their apps are safe. And again, we should put measures of if maybe your details are given or you have just posted something on social media and you are under surveillance, or maybe people are attacking you, what measures are in place for such companies, Facebook, Meta, WhatsApp, what measures have they put in place to ensure that the people who are using their apps are safe from any threat? Not security-wise, not only security-wise, but any kind of threat. Because you can see, especially now that we are having so many bloggers, you can maybe wake up and find that your page has been pulled down with no reason, because maybe you are a fan supporting a specific person.
So don't trust social media. I think we must find ways of people that we can trust to verify for us information. But I don't think X or Facebook or Instagram or TikTok are going to do the work of verification or the work of defending our democracy. The work of defending our democracy will be done by us ourselves. So we must find people that can help us debunk fake images, fake results, and fake things. So let's not try and delegate our democracy to outsiders and platforms whose only interest is to make money. So it's only us who can defend our democracy.
Sisi kama activists ama sisi kama active citizens tuko na jukumu la ku make sure tu watu wanapata the right information, because now again using the same social media you realize that tumekuwa over time tumekuwa tukifundisha watu about sexual and gender based violence, issues around by election and stuff, and now here we are having a general election where sisi wenyewe tunahitajika tena zaidi kufanya hii sensitization more and more, because we believe in numbers now. When you do something consistently, it overshadows the fake ideologies.
We do need to pay more attention to these developments and even mobilize around actions that we can take up to ensure that we safeguard our right to use social media platforms.
One of the greatest role I believe the social media will play when it comes to the 2027 general election is civic awareness. As we are talking currently, there's an ongoing trend on Twitter and on social media called Ikokadi, whereby the young people are coming out and saying, I am a registered voter.
To the young people who might be the foot soldiers for politicians, you might be earning some money right now or for the next couple of weeks, but just know that whatever story that you tell, even if it's you're earning money for yourself, make sure it doesn't do any harm, it doesn't destroy our country. Because at the end of the day, the politician is not paying you because they like your work, they're paying you to use you. So just remember that. And every time you're being used, you're like tissue paper. When I'm done with you, I'm going to flush you down the toilet. So you should realize that. So let's note your posts and your comments and your blogs and the stories that you tell. Don't let them be used to inflame the country or bring violence to a country or incite people into violence or introduce tribalism or malign people. Please make your money, but make sure that you make your money with a pure motive, not a motive to destroy, but to build our country.
It's the role of IEBC as they are conducting education about voter registration, all those things to do with voter. They can also be on the ground educating people during those sessions. They educate people about misinformation, and maybe even they give links which maybe are correct, so that if you want to access something, you use the right link. Again, we have the NGO space. The NGO even can come into place to even help bring policies and maybe present some recommendations to the parliament or even to the communication authorities regarding to the misinformation, whatever is going on. Then it's also the role of community-based organizations, because they're in the grassroots level, so they can educate fellow youths in the community and fellow members of the community and the society at large on the right track of misinformation and where to get the right information.
You need to understand the digital space. Yeah, we need to come from a point of knowledge. Secondly, we have issues on VPNs. if you can use a VPN, please use the VPN, because you never know. And this is where actors come in, where they actually go ahead and assent bills that further protect us and keep them in check. This is where the judiciary will come in. When they try to pass a bill that goes against our digital rights, have these people kept in check, hold them, have injunctions that keep holding them from passing those things.